Hello everyone, welcome back. So in the last video, we went through some of the basics of the guitar. We learned how to hold the guitar, how some of the things, so what is the guitar and like how you think about the guitar. And we ended at chords. What we established was that any combination of notes is a chord. So is a chord, is a chord, is a chord. So as you can probably imagine, there are many possibilities of chords. Today what we're gonna do is learn some chords which are popular and common. Let's get into it. So the first chord we're going to practice is a chord we also did in the last video. It is called a C major. The C major is when you, one more thing, there is other ways to play the C major. There's other ways to play the guitar. Everyone has a different style. I'm just sharing with you how I do it. So you can feel free to find your own way, but just for the sake of learning, let's try this way. So when you take your third finger, which is your ring finger, and you put it on the second string, third fret. And if you take your middle finger, you move it to the second fret of the third string, let's do that a couple of times. We already have something which sounds like a C. But if you put your index finger on the first fret in the second last string, which is your B string, you have the C major chord, the way I play it. Let's play that a couple of times. Try to get used to that sound. And now we move on to the G major chord. The G major chord is not too different from the C major chord. All you got to do is lift up these two fingers, so the ring finger and the middle finger, and move them a step up. So you can do that by and you probably hear the difference between the C and the G. C, G. Just to break it down, the G major chord is when you put your ring finger on the third fret of the first string. Your middle finger is on the second fret of the second string. And your index finger, so your middle finger, the first finger, is on the second last string, first fret. And this makes the G major chord. Let's try to practice this a few times and see if we can get used to the tone. what we can practice next is changing these two chords. So we go from C, play it a couple of times. Let's play it 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, change. 1, 2, 3, 4, change, and so on. Once you have these chords and you've practiced these chords, we can learn some new chords right now. So let's turn to another chord which is also quite common, and it's called the D major chord. So D for dynamic, or D for dog, D major chord. To play the D major chord, we take our hand and we put the middle finger on the 2nd fret of the last string. We put the ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd last string. We put the 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd last string. And this makes the D major. When you're playing these chords, try to play them at the center of the frets, or at least try not to touch this border of the fret. So you see how it sounds if you put the finger on this border of the fret, it sounds like it's not right. I don't like rules, but like I said, in order to break the rules, you need to know them, and then you can break the rules. Maybe don't take that as a life philosophy. Maybe just for music. There you have the D major. Let's move on to one last chord, which is called the A major. The A major is, well, it's slightly more simple, I feel, as you take the one finger and you cover the last 4 strings and you get the A major. Feel the pressure in your hand, and if it hurts, try to adjust the position of your hand. Slowly, your hand will develop these muscles which are going to help you make these shapes and make these changes. But until then, practice. If you've already practiced the C to G transition, try the D to A transition. Okay, so that was our session for today. And if you have any questions, any problems, or if something does not make sense, or if your hand hurts, or you want something is not clear, feel free to subscribe this channel and contact us per email, which is down there in the description. Thank you, and until next time, goodbye.